Good afternoon. We're just moments away from the championship game of the Baseball Championships Northwest Class of 2023 bracket. Today's competitors will be Washington Southwest against Washington Metro. We're glad to be here with you, bringing you the action here on TableRockSports.net. We're thankful for our sponsors, Southern Oregon University, and our title sponsor, Travel Medford. We'll get set to go here in just a moment or two. Right now, let's go ahead and take a quick timeout, and then we'll be back with more here on Table Rock Sports. U.S. Cellular Community Park, field number 9 in Medford, Oregon. We're just moments away from the first pitch. And the championship match featuring Washington Southwest versus Washington Metro. Let's give you the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the designated visitors, Washington Southwest, they'll be wearing what they describe as the tropic blue uniforms. Leading off and playing center field will be Calvin Curio. Trevin Long will play shortstop and bat second. Andrew Hall is in the number 3 spot, playing first base. In left field, batting cleanup will be Peyton Knowles. The second baseman, batting fifth, Braden Oram. Logan Shepard will hit 6th, start the game as what they describe as an extra hitter. Joaquin Velez Fucal will play third base and bat 7th. Luke Anzalotti, who will start out as an extra hitter, will hit 8th. Right fielder Jared Oldham will hit 9th. 10th will be catcher Andrew Peru. And the starting pitcher for Washington Southwest will be Ryan McClaskey. Washington Southwest coached by Ryan Ramsauer of Lower Columbia College. Now your starting lineup for Washington Metro. They'll be the designated home team wearing purple with the white numerals. Leading off and playing first base will be Brandon McKinley. Jack Bergstrom will hit second and play catcher later in the game. Hitting third will be Marquis Abelhassen, playing shortstop. The cleanup hitter will be the left fielder, Michael Crossland. In right field, hitting fifth will be Teddy Schulte. The number 6 hitter will be center fielder Tyler Bugby. 7th hitter will be Jake Lockwood, the catcher. Jason Abner will play second and hit 8th. Then we'll have Oliver Hogan, who will play third. Jaden Holloway, Reeve Boyd, and rounding out the lineup will be Luka Reljancic. Carson Bolsel will be the starting pitcher for today's game for Washington Metro. So, I have just been brought to my attention. We got a little bit of a technical challenge with our center field candidate, at least to start the game. Thankfully, a fixable issue, so we'll be relying on our first baseline camera to start the game. But fortunately, we won't be there for too terribly long. Game should start just about any minute now. Over on the left-hand corner of your screen, you can see Washington Metro wearing the purple uniforms. This is a rematch of a game that was played on Friday. So these two teams back at it again, but made it through to the championship bracket. Coming up at 3:30, one final broadcast and one final game for the class of 2023, this year's incoming juniors. And that will be a game where they will settle 7th place. And coming up in that game, check my schedule here real quick. Playing for 7th place will be Washington Metro East versus Utah. Game scheduled to start at 1. We haven't quite started yet, but then again, like I said, that may actually work to our advantage just a little bit. We've had a couple of really nice games to start the day. Good pitchers duel in the first game. Both starting pitchers going toe-to-toe in that ball game. In the game that we just wrapped up just a little while ago, that game pretty tight until Oregon State broke it open late and ended up winning that game by, I believe, by a score of 6-1. But we have seen some good baseball today, see a lot of nice prospects out there, and I know obviously we've got parents, grandparents, family members, and the like watching along the way, but a lot of coaches and scouts tuning in, and that's kind of really what this whole thing is all about, an opportunity for these young players to showcase their talents. In the case of the young men that we're tracking here, some have already made their college commitments. For example, for Washington Southwest, Caden Thompson has already committed to the University of Portland to play for the Pilots. And but in most cases, these are players that, if they're not beginning to be on the radar a little bit already, hopefully through events like this, they soon will be. And Josh Warner and all the folks that have helped organize this tournament in Medford have done an excellent job. Done a good job to make us feel right at home here and make sure that we had everything that we needed to help make this broadcast in this tournament possible. It's been a lot of fun to get to know some of the parents and grandparents in attendance at the games, some of the coaches along the way as well, each team playing 4 games during the course of this tournament, which is wrapping up today. A pair of Washington teams here playing for the tournament championship for the class of 2023. Washington Metro taking the field, wearing purple. Since we got the time, we'll set the lineup defensively for you. First baseman is Brandon McKinley. Over at second is Jason Abner. At short is Marquis Abelhassen. At third, number 24, Oliver Hogan. Out in left field, Michael Crossland. Number 33 in center is Tyler Bugby. And in right field is Teddy Schulte. Behind the plate, Jake Lockwood. And the starting pitcher is Carson Bosel. Making some numeric corrections to the rosters. And it's always good to have that straight. So Andrew Peru wearing 37. McClaskey, 17. Ready to go. And hitting the ball foul, Calvin Curio. First hitter of the ball game. And again, we'll get a little bit better view of you for the battery once we get things going with our center field camera. Curio starting in center field today. Makes contact. He'll pop it up. Abner makes the catch. One away. That'll bring up the shortstop, Trevin Long from Battleground, Washington. 5'9", 155. First pitch called a strike. Carson Bosel on the hill for Washington Metro. Count now even, 1-1. Next pitch, you can kind of hear the bench jockeying a little bit from the Washington southwest side. And you know, many of these guys, they're playing together for the first time. They're probably familiar with each other, playing against each other in their home regions, but it's been neat to see how in just this handful of days that they have all come together and they've really bonded. One down, the hitter, Trevin Long. And the count runs full. Grounder down to third base. Throw on a hop. And they just do get him. 2 down. Andrew Hall wearing number 29. Corner infielder. 6'4", 205. So, yes, he can play third, and he is starting at first this afternoon. Bouncing ball to third. Throw across the infield is in time. And that will end the top of the first. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back after we take this quick timeout.
A parent, dad in the stands yelling at his kid, trying to coach him from the bleachers, and the embarrassment on the kid's face. It looked like he was about to cry while playing the game.
I think it's very embarrassing for a student athlete to see their parents being escorted out of the gym or off the playing field.
I'd be surprised if that kid comes back to the game.
And you risk a child enjoying the game, that you rob them of the fun. You have made a bad choice.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
Back here at U.S. Cellular Community Park in Medford, field number 9. Warming up on the hill for Washington Southwest. Number 17. Ryan McClaskey. 5'11", 210 from Camas, Washington. Leading off for Washington Metro will be the first baseman, Brandon McKinley. McKinley, 6'1", 205 out of Woodinville, Washington. Call for a strike. So McClaskey getting right to work. Ball popped up and out of play. McClaskey comes to the plate. Next pitch is a ball. If we're tracking correctly, count now even at 2-2. And now the count goes full. So McKinley doing what you want a leadoff hitter to do, to work those pitch counts and Make him throw, and a called strike 3. So McClaskey doing it himself. McKinley taken care of, and now they'll bring up Jack Bergstrom. Swings and misses for strike 1. Bergstrom, 5'8", 170 from Decatur, Washington. He's a 4-point student. Next pitch called for a strike. Seen a lot of good pitching today, and the start of this ball game is nothing different as Bergstrom fouls it back to the screen. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bergstrom. Two gone in the inning. And up comes Marquis Abelhassen. McClaskey gets ahead of the hitter. Count 0-1. And if you're a fielder, you like how McClaskey, where he doesn't waste much time between pitches, mentally keeps you in the game. Granted, that's not necessarily everybody's style, and there may be perfectly good reasons for it, but there are definitely, I think, it's some advantages for a pitcher who works quickly as Abelhassen fouls it off. Abelhassen, 5'10", 160, left-handed hitter from Mercer Island. Looks at the pitch. The next offering, that goes high. Count no full at 3-2. Payoff pitch. And Abelhassen is gone. McClaskey strikes out the side in the first. We'll go to the top of the second in the scoreless game. Coming right up.
As the president of Southern Oregon University, I want you to know that you are welcome here on our lovely campus.
Hi, my name is Marjorie Trueblood Gamble, and I'm the Director of Diversity and Inclusion here at Southern Oregon University. We want you to know you are welcome here.
I'm Susan Walsh, Provost at Southern Oregon University, and you are welcome here.
Du bist hier willkommen. You are welcome here.
열어서.
Tu és bem-vindo aqui.
SOU 欢迎你.
तपाईँहरूलाई यहाँ स्वागत छ.
You are welcome here.
أنتم مرحبون هنا.
欢迎来到美国南俄勒冈州立大学.
ยินดีต้อนรับ.
You are welcome here.
Chào mừng bạn đến đây.
You are welcome here.
Coaches making sure we're all squared away here, and we appreciate that. In my experience, after years of doing play-by-play and mostly football and basketball, parents will forgive a lot, but don't mess their kid's name up. Leadoff hitter here in the top of the second is Peyton Knowles. Playing left field. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we've seen him some at third too. Washington Southwest in the tropic blue uniforms. Knowles gets on the walk. We have had some funny stuff with the rosters here that that's Peyton Knowles, the runner at first. First walk surrendered of the ball game. That's the thing about these tournaments. Sometimes some changes are made at the last minute, or maybe you find out a uniform doesn't fit. And so you have to switch things up a little bit as they throw over to first base. Knowles wearing number 25. Braden Orem playing second base. Right-handed hitter. Orem from Tumwater, Washington, 5'11", 150. Throw over to first. Heads up play by McKinley, the first baseman, to reel it in. Carson Bosel doing what he can to keep the runner close. Pitches a ball. Throw over once again. Knowles gets underneath the tag. Next pitch, swing and a miss. And the hitter is out. It's runner on first, one down. Runner acts like he's going to go, and he scampers back to the bag. Orem, the first strikeout victim of Bosel today. Pitch high to Logan Shepard. Throw over. Shepard, 6'1", 180 pounds, from Olympia. Next pitch. Shepard takes. And drawing the walk, Logan Shepard. So two runners on via the bases on balls. And now up to hit is Joaquin Velez Fucal, starting at third base today. Washington Southwest being patient here in the top of the second. Next offering, runner goes to third, and he's safe. So the runners advance. We have two in scoring position. Well, double steal. Knowles the lead runner. Then Shepard behind him. Velez Foucault, his assignment a little easier now with one out. And he'll look at a ball. Velez Foucault from North Thurston. 6 foot 205. He'll hit a ball up the right side of the infield. That'll bring one run home. Knowles will score. But Velez Foucault gets an RBI. And now it's a 1-0 ball game. Ground ball to shortstop, throw across the infield. And the hitter is retired. But Washington Southwest does get a run in the inning. 1-0 ball game. We'll be back with the bottom of the second here in just one moment. Back at U.S. Cellular Community Park, bottom of the second. Leadoff hitter, left fielder Michael Crossland. Facing off against McClaskey, who struck out the side in the first. Next pitch finds the seam base hit. Michael Crossland with a single to left field to open up the bottom of the second. And he now represents the tying run at first base. That'll bring up the right fielder, Teddy Schulte. Schulte wearing number 21. Pitch high for ball one. Schulte, 5'11", 170 pounds from O'Day High School. 4-point student. That pitch high. Crossland over at first. Schulte. That pitch in the dirt. The catcher for Washington Southwest Andrew Peru doing a nice job of keeping it in front of him. Keep the runner from taking off. McClaskey comes to the plate for a called strike. Next pitch fouled back. McClaskey hanging tough against the hitter Schulte. Next pitch, and he struck him out. So McClaskey battles back to get the hitter. That's the fourth strikeout of the game for the right-hander. And now he'll take on Tyler Bugby, the center fielder. Bouncing ball up the middle. Touches first, second, and on over to first, the double play. So a little bit of trouble here for McCluskey in the second, but he gets out of the jam with a little help from his new friends. And now we'll go to the top of the third. It's a 1-0 Washington Southwest lead.
Coach or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guy! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sundays, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Carson Bosel continues to work for Washington Metro. 6'4", 180-pounder from Okanogan, Washington. Now he'll take on Jared Oldham. Oldham playing right field today. At least that's where he'll start. Strike the call to even things up. Washington Southwest leading without the aid of a hit. A pair of walks and ground out, stolen bases all played a part in the one run that they have. Oldham draws the walk. One on here in the top of the third. Oldham. Back to the bag. From Hawkinson, Washington, Oldham, 6'1", 170. He's on first with a catcher, Peru, up at the bat. Pitch in the dirt. But the Metro catcher, Lockwood, keeping it in front of him. Next pitch fouled off. Peru working against the pitcher, Bosel. That pitch off target as Peru takes. Bosel gets Peru to hit it foul. Throw over to first. Oldham gets on underneath the tag. Runner takes off, heads for second, and the throw is late, so Oldham is safe. Well, he's now in scoring position. Washington Southwest with an opportunity here to extend their 1-0 lead with nobody out here in the top of the third. Next pitch. I hear the thud on the ground just behind us. Peru staying alive. And Peru draws the walk. So we've got runners at first and second. Nobody down. And we'll return to the top of the order to Calvin Curio. Curio popped up to second base to lead off the ball game. Swing and a miss, strike one. Calvin Curio from River Ridge, Washington. 5'8", 165. Bosel out of the stretch. Little turn over towards second base. Keeping his eye on Oldham. Pitch off target. Now Curio is ahead of the count, 2-1. With the strike, now the count evens up. Full count now at 3-2. Carson Bosel working through a little bit of danger here in the top of the third. And Curio draws the walk. So bases now loaded on 3 consecutive walks. And that'll bring up the shortstop Trevin Long, who grounded out in his first at-bat. Ducks on the pond, and Bosel getting a little bit of encouragement from his coach. Coaching Washington Metro is Cody Anderson from Bellevue College. First pitch, just a very loud foul ball. Nobody out and the bases loaded. Washington Southwest working on extending their 1-0 lead. Bosel comes to the plate. That one in the dirt. Trevin Long, the shortstop, the hitter. Pitch goes for a strike. And that will even things up at 2-2. Long from Battleground, Washington. 5'9", 155 pounds. Count now full at 3-2. Ground ball up the middle. Feed to second. On to first. They get one runner. And a runner will score on the fielder's choice. So Long brings a runner home. And we got runners at the corners with one down. Ground ball to second. Throws over to first. And considering what could have been, it could have gone much worse. Andrew Hall grounding out there. But not before Washington Southwest picks up a run. It's a 2-0 ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the third after we recognize our sponsors here on Table Rock Sports.
A coach, or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guy! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Championship game for the class of 2023. Baseball Championships Northwest at its Washington Southwest in the Tropic Blue, leading in the ball game 2-0. And again, they've managed to do all the scoring without a hit. Now, Ryan McClaskey from Camas gets set for his third inning of work. First pitch, called a strike. Jake Lockwood hitting for Washington Metro. Pitch is low for a ball. Swing and a miss. Pitch gets away from the catcher. So Lockwood is on. So one on with nobody down. Jason Abner, the second baseman, with his first at-bat of the day. He'll pop it up. And Velez Foucault did a nice job of zeroing in on that one. That gave him some trouble, but he managed to hang on to record out number one. Oliver Hogan, playing third base for Washington Metro, is up to bat with a runner on first. They're going to pop that one up deep behind second base. They're recording the out is the second baseman Logan Shepard. Runner on with two down, and Jaden Holloway will be up to bat. Fouls it off for a strike. Pop up on the infield. The shortstop, Braden Oram, makes the play. And that will end things here in the bottom of the third. A 2-0 ball game. Washington Southwest on top. And an opportunity to extend their lead coming up.
Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks for So we were just advised of an injury that Oliver Hogan, hand injury. He'll come out of the ball game for Washington Metro. Luka Ruljancic will take over at second. Carson Bosel remains in the ball game as the starting pitcher. And other than a single by Michael Crossland, we haven't had a hit in this ball game. And up to bat, Peyton Knowles drew a walk and scored. Also stole a base. He'll hit a ground ball to third. Gets Ruljancic warmed up. Throw in time for out number one. So play goes 5-3, and now Brett will be Braden Oram. Oram struck out in his first appearance of the day. Pitch is high, ball one. So you can say for Washington Southwest, without the hitting, the secret of their success has been base running and patience. As we see here with Oram, who has started today at second and moved over to short, and he'll be at third before the game is out. There's a strike. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Looked like Oram's kind of shaking his head there, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. But he draws the walk. So the patience pays off. Oram down to first. And Logan Shepard, who walked in his first plate appearance, is up to bat. First pitch. Quick throw down to first. Oram back in time. Bosel. Pitch low. So the hitter out front. Throw back over to first. And Oram gets safely back. Strike for Bosel, who's labored a bit here in the top of the fourth. That's really been his only undoing. He's surrendered 3, 4, 6 walks in the ball game. Pitch fouled off. Off the fence on the right field side. We have a pop-up to the outfield. And we have a hit. Sliding into second. Logan Shepard. Shepard with a double. And that will move Orem up to third base. And Joaquin Velez-Fucal, who made a little bit of a circus catch on the defensive half of the third, is now up to hit. First pitch high. Count 1-0. Runners at second and third. 2-0 ball game. Opportunity for more right here. Pitch called a strike. Count even now at 1-1. Pitch fouled off. Mosel ahead in the count. One out in the inning. Runners at second and third. Joaquin looks at that one. Joaquin Velez-Fucal, a corner infielder. And he'll go ahead and line one out to right field. Base hit. He goes around first. 1 run will score. And Velez-Fucal pulls into second with a double. So 2 runs come home. And Joaquin drives in a pair of runs to make it 4-0. So Shepard home, Orem home. And Velez-Fucal in scoring position as Luke Anzalotti comes up to hit. Anzalotti, 5'10", 185 out of Central Catholic in Washington. Looks at a pitch for a ball. That goes for a strike. And it looks like we've got our center field camera going once again. Thank you for your patience on that. That'll give us a better view of things between pitcher and catcher. We have a ball that'll find the hole. Call that a little Texas leaguer for Anzalotti, so he's on first. Lead runner Velez-Fucal moves up to third. So after not hitting for a while, Washington Southwest breaking things open here in the top of the fourth. Jared Oldham. Chance to pad his team's lead. First pitch a strike. Oldham drew a walk his first time up. Fouled back. Count 0-2. Boselt comes to the plate. Pitch called the ball. Catch made in center field, and Velez Foucault scores on the sacrifice fly. Now it's a 5-0 ball game. As Andrew Peru, the catcher, comes up. He'll give away behind the plate to Anzalotti here later in the game. And we have a new pitcher in the game. Ryan Vorpal. They'll give him a chance to warm up, and so we'll use this opportunity to take a quick timeout, and then we'll be back with more for you here on Table Rock Sports.
Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All U.S. Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Ryan Vorpal, right-hander into the ball game for Washington Metro. Vorpal wearing number 25. 6'5", 185 from Gig Harbor. He'll try to stop the bleeding here as Washington Southwest has turned it on here in the top of the fourth. Peru, the hitter, drew a walk his first time up. Strike, the call. That pitch fouled off. Looks like we've got a courtesy runner on for Oldham down at first base. No, that's Anzalotti. My bad. That's Anzalotti. He actually got on a single. Oldham hit the sacrifice fly after him. Ground the ball up the middle. Base hit. So Peru keeps it going. Anzalotti up to second. We're back to the top of the order with Calvin Curio. 0 for 1 on the day. Popped up and drew a walk. Pitch gets away, and we know we have runners at second and third. One gone on the fourth, and Curio, who started in center, is now playing right. Up against Vorpal. Pitch in the dirt. Ball hit out to right center field. And the catch is made. Washington Southwest leads in the ball game 5-0. We'll be back after this timeout on Table Rock Sports.
A new way to achieve the highest level of savings. Peak Rewards. The Peak Rewards app is your roadmap to savings wherever your journey takes you. Simply by using our mobile app, you can shop for a mountain of savings in any of our convenience stores and fuel up for less. Just download the Peak Rewards app, register, find participating stations and stores near you, and start saving. With Peak Rewards, you can travel further for less. So what are you waiting for? Download Peak Rewards today and find a location near you.
McClaskey remains in the ball game for Washington Southwest. He's cruising along in this ball game and has a one-hitter going so far, just having given up a single to Crossland in the second inning. Also shown good control. He's not giving up a walk in the ball game. Last inning, got 3 pop-ups. Velez Foucault has moved over to first base. Taking over at third is Teddy Schulte. No, I take that back. That's actually Trevin Long over there. First pitch low. I tell you what, you do about 4 or 5 of these games in a row and you get a little buggy after a while. The hitter is Reeve Boyd. Boyd hitting for Washington Metro in purple. They trail in the ball game 5-0. But he strikes out. And now it's Luka Ruljancic. He'll hit that out to right field, and coming on and making the play, Calvin Curio. There's 2 gone. Brandon McKinley back at the top of the order. McKinley struck out his first time up. McClaskey, the pitcher, has yet to surrender a walk in the ball game. And he starts out there with a strike. Count now even at 1. And next pitch is high. Foul out of play. Count now evens up at 2-2. Fouls it the other way. Brandon McKinley from Woodinville, Washington, 6'1", 205. First umpire says he did not go. So McKinley draws the walk. And that is the first free pass of the game given out by McClaskey. Pitch head out to right center field. Curio, a little bit of an adventure out there, but he reels it in. We'll go to the top of the fifth. Washington Southwest still on top. We'll be back after this timeout.
Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We've stocked up with over 200 new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from one of our largest inventories ever of new Jeep Cherokee 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back three-peat truck of the year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. You'll find the new vehicle you want at the low price you deserve. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Temperature is warmed up to 95 degrees, and it definitely feels like all of that right now. But it's not only the weather that is heated up as Washington Southwest with a 5-0 lead. Ryan Vorpal out for another inning of work for Washington Metro. Here in the top of the fifth. He'll complete his warm-ups. Vorpal coming on in relief of Carson Bosel. If things go as scheduled, our expectation is for Washington Southwest, Travis Gibson will come on in relief of McClaskey. McClaskey with an excellent outing. Vorpal facing Trevin Long. First pitch low. 1-0 here as we begin the top of the fifth. Long ahead in the count. Started at shortstop. And here at the bottom of the fourth, he'll move over to third. And then go back to short. You wouldn't see this in ordinary circumstances, but one of the nice things about the showcase tournaments, you get a chance to play multiple positions, and you never know when you have a situation where a guy that maybe has been used to playing shortstop back home might be a better fit with his arm for third base. We have a pop-up On the infield, taken by the first baseman, McKinney. One down here in the top of the fifth. Andrew Hall comes up, 0 for 2 on the day, a pair of ground outs. Pitch called for a strike. Vorpal ahead of the hitter. Winds, fires, swing and a miss, and down goes Hall. Two gone in the inning. And that'll bring up Peyton Knowles, who scored the first run of the ball game. Officially, he's 0 for 1, but it was patience in drawing walks and some stolen bases, so some work on the base paths that gave Washington Southwest their lead. Line drive out to left field. Base hit for Peyton Knowles going the other way. So we have a runner on first. Now up the bat, Braden Oram, who drew a walk and scored in his last at-bat. That pitch high. Count 1-0. Knowles, the runner at first. Vorpal out of the stretch. Pitch goes for a ball. Runner takes off. And Knowles is in for second. For Peyton Knowles, that's his second swipe of the day. Peyton Knowles making the most of his opportunity here. Now with Braden Oram. And he draws the walk. So Oram with his second walk of the day. He's down to first. And Logan Shepard, who hit a double in his last at-bat. So officially he's 1 for 1 because he walked the first time up. Pitch called for a strike. Count goes 0-1. Strike the call. Pitch foul to the right. So the hitter, Shepard's staying alive. Orem with a pretty healthy lead off of first. Of course, he's got a runner ahead of him as well. I don't know at 5-0 that you feel particularly compelled to steal here. I know there's some unwritten rules about you get us to a certain lead and you're not doing that kind of thing anymore. But this being a showcase tournament, a little bit different philosophy there. I don't think anybody's going to look down their nose at these guys if they say, hey, you know what, I can run. I want to show these people I can run, so I'm going to take off. If this were a state championship game, high school ranks or whatever, it might be a little bit different ball game. Foul ball. So the runners will go back to their stations. Shepard. Who again has had a really nice day for himself here. And as I recall, pretty solid tournament overall. Bouncing ball. Throw over to first is in time. That will end things in the top of the 5th. Washington Metro coming up right after this.
A new way to achieve the highest level of savings. Peak Rewards. The Peak Rewards app is your roadmap to savings wherever your journey takes you. Simply by using our mobile app, you can shop for a mountain of savings in any of our convenience stores and fuel up for less. Just download the Peak Rewards app, register, find participating stations and stores near you, and start saving. With Peak Rewards, you can travel further for less. So what are you waiting for? Download Peak Rewards today and find a location near you.
McClaskey remains in the ball game, starting pitcher, and why not continue to dance with what brought you? So far in this ball game, he has limited Washington Metro to just one hit, and he's only given up a walk. No errors, so he's just given Washington Metro nothing to work with, although they do have Travis Gibson on standby, and we could possibly see Andrew Hall as well. But this is it right here. And if he's going well, why mess with success? Coming up to hit, talking about guys who've had good tournaments, Marquis Abelhassen. We've called his name quite a bit over the course of this 4-game tournament. And he'll end up hitting it foul. Nice looking drive, but it will land foul. Abelhassen, who is playing shortstop for the Distance today. Abelhassen throws right, hits left, and goes the other way for a base hit, and he's going to go ahead and scamper on into second. So Abelhassen, I told you, this kid's got game. Now he's in scoring position, representing an opportunity to maybe get his team on the board. Right behind him, the only other player to get a hit in the ball game, Michael Crossland. Hit a single to left. First pitch, a strike from McClaskey. Crossland steps out of the box, gets back in. Comes to the plate, and that's a strike. McClaskey taking his time, looks at the runner, and ball that just kind of drops in. 3 players to converge on it. It hung up there for a while, but it just... Wee Willie Keeler, right around the turn of the last century, once had the record for the longest hitting streak at 44 games, and he said the secret to his success was to hit them where they ain't. Well, that's kind of what Crossland did there for his second hit of the game. So that'll move Abelhassen to third. We have runners at the corners and nobody out. Runner takes off. So that'll wipe out any possibility of the double play. Schulte, the hitter. Pitch goes for a strike. Pitch goes for a ball. The count goes 1-1. Pitch high. Schulte ahead in the count now. Oh, no. Thank the boss man, Joe Brett, for coming in and offering a little bit of cool relief for our laptop here. And Schulte draws the walk. Runners have been few and far between in the game. And the bases are now loaded. And up the hit will be Tyler Bugby. Bugby grounded into a double play his last at-bat. And, you know, we've been talking about the quality of pitching in this ball game, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the quality of the fielding in this ball game. No errors committed by either team in the game, and certainly that helps the pitcher's cause a great deal. Not to give away extra outs. Tyler Bugby now, the hitter. Nobody out. Bases loaded. 5-0 ball game. Bugby ahead in the count. 1-0. Count now 2-0. Bugby fouls that one off. Bugby, the hitter. Jake Lockwood on deck. And now the count goes 3-1. McClaskey in a little bit of trouble here. And he surrenders the walk. That'll bring a run home. Washington Metro off the schneid. As Marquis Abelhassen comes in to score. Still nobody out. And Jake Lockwood, who struck out in his first at-bat, up to hit. So efficient has been McCluskey up to this point in the ball game that even at this late juncture and these big lineups, there haven't been many opportunities to hit. There's a strike. McCluskey. Pitch goes for a ball. 2-1 the count now to Lockwood. Strike evens up the count at 2-2. Lockwood showing patience at the plate. 5-1, nobody down. And it's a called strike. Big strike out there for McClaskey. One down. And first pitch fouled off by Jason Abner. So we got Bugby, the runner at first. Schulte, the runner at second. And over at third, Michael Crossland, Jason Abner, who popped up the third his first time up. Going to try to put a dent. In fact, if he represents the tying run there at the plate, one down. Abner fouls it out of play. So Abner stays alive. Throw back to third after the pitch goes for a ball. Crossland gets safely back. Swing and a miss. And another big K for Ryan McClaskey. Oliver Hogan, the hitter. Now, as I understand it, he has injured his hand. He won't play in the field anymore today, but he's okay enough to hit. He popped up the second his first at-bat. That pitch high. Hitters count. Catching things up here on the graphics. There is 2 down, 2 consecutive strikeouts for McClaskey. Working on Hogan. That pitch high, and that'll walk home a run. So Hogan, patience paying off for him. Crossland comes in to score. Bases loaded. 2 out. Pitch high to Jaden Holloway. Holloway popped up the short his last at-bat, his first at-bat of the ball game. 5-2 now your score. Metro with the tying run at first. Around the horn we've got Schulte, Bigby, and Oliver Hogan. Strike, the call. Now, I got to confess, I fell behind on that count, so in terms of the graphic. Strike, the call against Holloway. Just got a piece of that. Stays alive with hitting the foul ball. Bottom of the 5th. Washington. Metro trailing in the ball game, but they're wearing the purple uniforms. They're the ones working on seeing if they can't tighten this thing up. Ground ball. Throw across the infield is in time. So McClaskey and Washington Southwest get out of the jam. They lead the game 5-2. We'll be back after this quick timeout on Table Rock Sports.
Believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All U.S. Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Top of the 6th inning, Vorpal, who came on in relief of Bosel earlier in the ball game, remains in. Washington Southwest wearing the Tropic blue uniforms. Championship game for the class of 2023 bracket. So all these are incoming juniors with a couple of years left to play. The Washington Metro with a couple of players, namely Holloway and Boyd, have already made commitments to attend Oregon State. Washington Southwest with Joaquin Velez Foucault. He drove in a pair of runs his last at-bat. Actually has 3 RBIs in the game as he scored a run, brought a run home on a ground out. Pitch low. Velez Foucault from North Thurston in Washington. 3.45 student. Pitch called for a strike. Hits a hard line drive to left center field. That'll roll to the wall. And Joaquin Velez Foucault with his second hit of the ball game. So officially, he's 2 for 2 on the day. That'll bring up Luke Anzalotti, who hit a single his last time up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. That one fouled out of play. Fly ball out to center field. The catch is made by Holloway. So Anzalotti with a loud out. And now we have Jared Oldham, who is officially 0 for 0 because he walked and had a sacrifice fly. Pitch low in the dirt now. Velez Foucault down to third base. Bouncing ball. Foul ball. Oldham with 1 out and a runner at third. That one popped up out of play. Next pitch. He takes. Oldham showing patience at the plate. Hits a line drive, drops in for a base hit out to left field. Velez Foucault will score. It's a 6-2 ball game. Jared Oldham with the RBI single. As Velez Foucault scores his second run of the day. And now we get a look at Andrew Peru. He's 1 for 1 today with a single and a walk. Vorpal looks back over to first. That'll chase Oldham back. Swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt. The runner will take off. Oldham. Big time trouble for the catcher as Oldham comes around to third. So Oldham now at third base for Peru. And Peru draws the walk. So runners at first and third with one down. Vorpal will come out of the game. And Jake Lockwood will get set to take over. While he gets in his warm-ups, we'll take a quick timeout. It's Washington Southwest on top in this ball game. We'll be back shortly.
Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Jake Lockwood in to pitch for Washington Metro. Lockwood started the game at catcher. And now we'll get a look at him on the hill as Calvin Curio comes up. Curio 0 for 2 on the day. One out. Runners at the corners. Swing and a miss. Curio showing a nice glove out in the outfield today. Pitch gets away from the catcher, but not so dangerous that a run would score or a runner advance. That pitch high. Call goes for a strike. And that will send Curio back to the bench. Trevin Long, 0 for 3 on the day. But did bring home a run on a fielder's choice in his second at-bat. Pitch goes for a ball. 2 down now in the inning in the top of the 6th. Pitch high for a ball. Count goes 2-1. Strike. So Lockwood trying to lock it down here. Runner takes off. And he's down to second uncontested. Trevin Long against Lockwood. And the pitcher, Lockwood, records the out. That will end the Washington Metro threat as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Stick around. We've got more baseball coming your way in just one moment.
Coach, or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, Curio! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Bottom of the 6th. Washington Metro trying to work their way back in this ball game. Reeve Boyd Up to the plate. And we have Travis Gibson in the ball game, the right-hander. 6 foot, 165 from Washougal, Washington. Ground ball up the middle, and the throw in time. There's one away. After Boyd goes down, we'll see Luka Riljancic. Pitch fouled off. Riljancic, swing and a miss. First strike for out number 2. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Brandon McKinley. McKinley 0 for 1 on the day, struck out and walked. Gibson gets Riljancic to swing and a miss. That pitch goes for a ball. McKinley, who's shown good patience at the plate today, as evidenced by his bases on balls the last time he was up, being patient here, trying to get on. Pitch hit wide of third. McKinley stays alive for Washington Metro. And McKinley gets on the hard way. He'll go on down to first. With 2 down. Up next is Jack Bergstrom, the catcher for Washington Metro. Pitch for a strike. 0-1. Next offering fouled off. Gibson ahead in the count. Gibson comes to the plate. That's fouled off. Pitch low for a ball. Gibson facing off against Bergstrom, who struck out and flew out to right field his last time up. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Pitch high. Pitch low, and the count no full at 3-2. Runner goes. Pitch fouled off. Bergstrom adjusting his equipment, getting settled in. Throw over to first. Pitch low, and Bergstrom draws the walk. So a pair of runners on with 2 out. And Marquis Abelhassen, who hit a double his last time up, is here to see what he can do to draw his team closer. Pitch goes for a strike. Count 0-1. Swing and a miss. Abelhassen in against Gibson. Takes, and the count goes 1-2. Time called. Abelhassen will step out. Count even now at 2-2. Two out in the inning. Washington Metro trailing in this ball game, but trying to do something about that right here. Count goes full at 3-2. Two gone on the inning. Pitch fouled away. Abelhassen 1 for 1 on the day. 1 for 2 actually. Struck out and then hit a double. And he draws the walk. Bases loaded. And Michael Crossland, who's 2 for 2 on the day, hitting a pair of singles, has an opportunity to do big damage here. Bouncing ball, that's wide of third. Strike one. Have a wind blowing from the northwest. Gibson comes to the plate, and that goes for a ball at 1-1. Michael Crossland. He's been a producer today. Can he produce here? Big moment. Line drive out to center field. It'll roll the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 3 runs will score as Crossland goes running into third. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a ball game. Michael Crossland hitting the triple, bringing home Abelhassen, Bergstrom, and McKinley. Two down in the inning. You see, that's the big thing right there, that Washington Metro has done this damage all with 2 out. Teddy Schulte now coming up. He drew a walk his last time up. And he's hit by a pitch. Looks like he took one on the left thigh. So now we have runners at the corners with 2 down. Tyler Bugby, who started in center field today and could possibly throw before this day is out, is up. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Lined out to right field. He can't make the catch. Bugby around second. So Crossland will score. Schulte will score. And Bugby pulls into third. Gibson done for the day. You want to go check while we're doing warm-up, see if you can find out from there? Andrew Hall getting ready to warm up. And Washington Metro breaking it wide open in the bottom of the 6th. Andrew Hall warming up. Hall, corner outfielder. With a big hit by Bugby, suddenly a team that was down to 1.6-1 is now ahead in the game, 7-6, and possibly they're not done yet. Bugby on third. Lockwood, who struck out but still got on the first on a passed ball, and then struck out in his next at-bat. He's up the hit against Hall. So a wild and crazy game. It started out as a pitcher's duel, has become an offensive affair. Washington Metro with the big rally here in the bottom of the 6th. So this game's not done yet. And I don't think it's any real surprise here. We know that from watching this team over the last 3 days, I've got some guys who can rip it. And both teams have done that here this afternoon. Pitch goes for a ball, 1-0. Strike. Count evens now at 1-1. Runner at third. Pitch in the dirt. But it stays in front of the catcher. Luke Anzalotti behind the dish. Strike the call. Tell you what, this is going to set the stage for one heck of a final inning. Pitch high. Lockwood, who's pitching in the game now. Opportunity to aid his cause. And he'll take the walk down to first. Runners at the corners. And 2 gone. Up to bat, Jason Abner. Abner 0 for 2 on the day. Ball hit out to left field, base hit. Jason Abner brings another one home. Abner at first. Lockwood at second. So pitch called for a strike. By our count, Washington Metro, who trailed in the game, now leads 8-6. And Oliver Hogan hit by a pitch. That'll load him up with 2 down. And that'll bring up Jaden Holloway. Holloway 0 for 2 on the day. Popped up to shortstop and then grounded out to short. Fouls this one back. Count 0-1. Holloway makes contact, hits the fly ball out to center field, but the catch is made. But not before a big inning for Washington Metro. We'll go to the top of the 7th right after this. Top of the 7th. And a close play at first, but the first baseman pulled his foot off of the bag. So Andrew Hall gets on. A leadoff hitter here in the top of the 7th. Throw over to first. And again, it is Jake Lockwood pitching. Now up to bat, Peyton Knowles. And Lockwood strikes him out. Grounder to third, throws to second. Double play. And Washington Metro rallies for the victory. And that's what you expect from a championship game. You could even see a game at 6-1 and know that with the quality of the teams that they can come back, and that is what Washington Metro did today. It was really not a real surprise from this vantage point that it happened here. The bats have been really quiet throughout much of the ball game, but they came on late and showed good patience at the plate and did the things they needed to do to pull off the victory. But hey, both teams, a lot of credit to be given out. Both of these teams played a heck of a ball game. It was very entertaining to watch, and I'm sure some of you coaches and scouts watching along the way today found a couple of guys just think, you know what, that guy might be a fit for our program. So again, the winner of the championship game for the class of 2023, it is Washington Metro 8, Washington Southwest 6. For Johnny McCoy and for Jonathan McCreary, I'm Jim McCoy. Thank you for joining us.